You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine. You shouldn't doubt yourself, 'cause you're a work of art. You should know that you are perfect with those flaws. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Know that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling.
Hi, everyone. Good day to you all. All right, so on Crafty Nights, we celebrate the joy of crafting, DIY projects, and unleashing our inner artist. But tonight, we're taking it a step further by incorporating the fascinating world of technology into our creative endeavors. And who better to guide us through this intersection than our special guest, of course, our monthly guest, Victor from Basic Networks and Streaming or Basic NAS. In this episode, we're diving deep into the myths and misconceptions surrounding live streaming technology. We'll unravel the enigma of Wi-Fi versus internet, exploring how these two essential components influence the quality and stability of our live streams. Victor, armed with expertise and knowledge, will provide valuable insights and help us debunk common tech myths, empowering us to optimize our live streaming experiences. Okay, but that's not all, because we'll also explore other tech related myths and misconceptions that impact live streaming, from the influence of streaming platforms, maybe to bandwidth requirements, etc. So we'll separate fact from fiction, ensuring that every creative individual has the tools and understanding needed for successful live streams. So grab your crafting supplies, get cozy, and prepare to be inspired. Crafty Nights with Mommy Guide Inc. is about to merge the worlds of creativity and technology in a way you've never experienced before. Yeah, so together, let's demystify the tech aspects of live streaming and unleash our creativity to new heights. Please don't forget to subscribe to both our channels and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode of Crafty Nights nor Basic Networks and live streaming. Get ready for a captivating blend of craftiness and technology with our special guest, Victor from Basic Networks and Streaming. Let's debunk those tech myths and make our live streams shine brighter than ever. And with that, let's bring back Victor from Basic Networks and Streaming. Hi, Victor.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world.
Yes, again, of course, once a month, Victor has to wake up super early just to be here on the show, right? So again, thank you so much. Mega love shout out to the Filipino community, specifically Norman's Diary community, for being here early on. And of course, we have Sammy. Good evening, everyone. Hope you all had a great weekend so far. All right. So for those watching on replay, if you have questions or comments, just put them on the comment section and we'll gladly answer them back or comment back at you. All right. So Victor, first and foremost, what is the difference between Wi-Fi and internet?
All right. So the main difference to understand is when you're talking about Wi-Fi itself, Wi-Fi is just a connection. That's like you taking a cable, plugging it on, plugging it into the wall and then plugging it to your computer. It's just a connection. It's not internet. Internet is actually when you are able to go out into the world and surf the web. You can do searches and all that stuff, which a lot of people probably don't understand this. The internet really is just your computer connected to another computer connected to another computer times infinity. So the internet is not a magical thing. The internet is just connections between multiple computers throughout the world.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's okay. Sorry, I forgot to bring myself in. So that is why the word inter, right? And then sometimes I hear intra, for like offices. Intranet.
Yeah. When they're talking about intranet, what it is it's local. So it's like you going to a certain website for company information, but that website actually lives on a company server, or it's locked down to where only employees can access it. It's internal. It's not external. The internet is external, where I can't even pronounce it right. Intranet is internal, which is interesting because we're going to also talk about networks being internal networks, which are called local area networks, and external networks, which is called wide area networks.
Sorry? Wide?
Wide. Yeah. You have two different type. You got mainly two different types of networks. You got local area networks, which literally means local. It's technically to say just your house. So the network that is internal, where it's just your house, that's called local area network. And as soon as you add internet connection and you go outside of your network, outside of your home, that's wide area network.
I thought when you say LAN, I thought, Victor, when you say LAN, that refers to the cable.
No.
Oh, okay. So
it's a term used in networking. Local land and wide land. We're not talking about cables yet.
Okay, land. Land. Yeah. Not land. Yeah. Land. Okay.
Land.
Wide land. Okay, so those two kinds. Okay, so so you've already mentioned about the difference between internet and Wi-Fi, right? So do we need both, or can we have just one to be able to do live streams?
That depends on what it is you're trying to do. Because remember, when we say Wi-Fi, all we talking about is a way of connecting. So, for example, if you want to use Wi-Fi technology for a local area network, which means everything stays within your house. Here's an example. Let's say you have two computers and you want those two computers that live inside your house to be able to communicate. You only need either Wi-Fi or a data cable connection, because again, whether you go Wi-Fi, which is wireless, or you go with an actual data cable, which is a physical cable, those are just connections. So if you have two computers in your location and you just want those two computers to communicate, or here's a better example, your computer to your printer.
Oh, okay.
You could use your computer to print and you don't need internet. You just need the two devices to have some connection. And that connection could be either Wi-Fi or cable. There is no internet needed for your computer that is in your house to print to your printer that is in your house.
But if I
If that
want
makes
like
sense.
somewhere else, like another computer outside.
Anything outside your house, which is again WAN, wide area network, anything outside your house requires internet. But you still need to be able to connect to the device that provides the internet. So most people will have a router, whether it's your personal router that you bought or that your internet service provider had given you. And by you connecting to that router, whether it's with a physical cable, whether it's through Wi-Fi, once you connect to that router, if you're just communicating to devices in your house, it's doing it locally. There is no internet. But that router understands that when you try to open, let's say, a web browser and you go to like Amazon, it has to go out. And that's when it utilizes the actual internet to go out of your house and connect to other computers, because really that's what the internet's doing. Connecting to other computers into it makes it to the Amazon computer, which is going to provide you with whatever you need, or whatever you're searching with.
All right.
So it depends on what you're doing. Internet is 100% necessary for streaming, for searching on the web, because you're doing that outside of your house.
Okay.
But let's say your two kids just wanted to play video games from computer to computer. You could just take a cable, connect it to both their computers, and they could see each other and they could play against each other.
How about Wi-Fi?
You could use the same Wi-Fi in your house between the two computers and they could communicate with each other.
Oh, okay. Still can. You don't need an
Because the
internet
Wi-Fi
for
is
that.
just connection. You don't need internet for that. Nope.
Okay. So I think I got it clear right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So far.
Yeah, and I think
so far so good.
Yeah. And I think the printer is the best analogy, because a lot of people, at least back in the day, they'll have their computer and then they'll run like the USB cable to the printer and they have a physical connection from the computer straight to the printer. But a lot of printers now could be either with a data cable or on Wi-Fi. A lot of printers have Wi-Fi.
Yes.
So as long as you're on the same Wi-Fi as that printer could be anywhere in your house and you could print. But it has to be in your house for it to print locally.
Yeah,
so
because you have to share the same, what do you call that? Internet connection?
Not internet, because internet's outside
Wi-Fi. Sorry, Wi-Fi.
It has to say
it's a good thing there's no exam.
It has to share the same network. I know there's going to be a lot of words, people. There's going to be a lot of words.
Yes. It's like, so
network is one thing. Wi-Fi is just the connection. So your network is like when you go to connect to Wi-Fi and you see the name, that's your network. So when you first go to a location and you go to connect to the Wi-Fi, there's a name that you click on and then you put the password. That name is considered your network. So let's say at Lala's house, her network, like let's say I go to visit you and I want to connect to your Wi-Fi and you say you have to connect to the Wi-Fi name Lala Mommy Guide.
Okay.
That's your network. That's your network. So once I connect to your network with my phone, it's possible for my phone to now communicate with your printer and your computers. It has nothing to do with the internet. That's local.
Okay. Okay, slowly.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's just the words. I somehow, for
Yeah.
me, for a very long time, it's like, I alternate each for the other, thinking that
Right.
it's kind of the same in the sense that if I have good either Wi-Fi or internet, that I can actually, do live stream. So our focus for now is really the use of both of this and the other things in terms of the tech that we use, so that for us crafters, Victor, or creatives, whether you're a crafter, an artist, or sometimes even if you just want to vlog, right? For
Right.
content creators, right? So how does, the concept of Wi-Fi and live streaming actually affect the quality and stability of a live stream or a live vlog, so to speak?
Okay. Got you. Got you. So when it comes to quality and stability, when you're talking about Wi-Fi, and always keep in mind when we're talking Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, physical cable, these are just connections. It is connecting the devices. So when it comes to Wi-Fi, you have to have a good signal. You have, and since you're dealing with radio waves, and this is why a lot of people say Wi-Fi is not dependable. You're dealing with radio waves, and you're dealing with interference between radio waves. So, just to give you an idea, when you live in a big city, like over here in the US, you live in a big city like LA, Chicago, California, and you live in a building with multiple units and everybody has internet, my internet can interfere with his internet can interfere with her internet when you're dealing with a lot of the wireless.
Okay,
So
Victor, I
there's a
think we
lot of
can
interference too.
illustrate this better or best by actually, do you remember the time I was in the US, and in November? Okay, I went to DC, right? I went to DC,
Mhm.
and then I said I wanted to be able to do still my live streams, right? So I brought along all my system, and then the Airbnb that we were staying said that they have, good internet. So we did.
Right.
So and then I was gonna be going live with Victor, but then I couldn't. I had internet, I had Wi-Fi, but what was wrong with that setup, Victor? Maybe you can share, because sometimes, right, people would say, I have internet, I have Wi-Fi, but yet I couldn't live stream. So what
Yeah.
happened?
There could be different things that could happen. So just to give you an idea, I'm going to switch over to my laptop,
Okay.
and I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to show you. Right here, it says I have Wi-Fi, I'm connected, and I have 3 bars.
Uh-huh.
But yet, I'm going to come over here to my browser, and if you notice, it says connect to the internet. You're offline. I'm going
Uh-huh.
to refresh the page. So it's telling me I have no internet. And here's where some people get confused. It says I have no internet, but yet you saw it says I'm connected, I got 3 bars. That's because someone's confusing Wi-Fi with actual internet. Wi-Fi is just a connection to the router. So I'm connected to the router. I have a three to four bar connection. Doesn't mean I have internet. So that's one thing that could happen. You're misunderstanding, or someone's misunderstanding what Wi-Fi is. So they're like, "Oh, I have a great connection. How come I'm having problems?" Well, just because you have a Wi-Fi connection doesn't mean you have access to the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the other issues could be where the router is. And this is something that sometimes you have control over, sometimes you don't. But I want everyone to visualize their actual house right now. Like Lala, I want you to picture your house.
Okay.
You right now, go back to the scene with both of us. I
Okay.
want you to picture your house. All right.
Okay.
Visualize your house. the layout of your house, like where the living rooms, the bedrooms, everything is in your house.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have your internet service provider bring in, whether it's a cable or however they bring in the internet to your house. They sometimes give you a little box or something that you
Yes.
connect to.
Normally in the Philippines, we get internet via the not the browser, the what do you call that? Router? Yes.
Modem router. It's a
Yes, the modem.
router.
Yes,
Yeah.
the modem. So all of us get that one. And
Right.
then so it depends on the provider whether you get fiber, you get this
Oh yeah,
all those things.
those yeah. When
Yeah.
we talk about fiber and that stuff, those are just different types of connections. And to be
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
honest with you, not to have everybody run and get fiber, because I don't know how good the fiber internet is in the Philippines. I know a little bit better in the US. Fiber is literally the best internet you could get. Period. Period. For a few reasons. But what I want to try to stay on my topic.
Okay,
So
so
if
the
you
router,
know
the
where
modem.
that box is, yeah, if you know where that box is in relations to your house,
Okay.
one of the biggest mistakes everybody makes that you don't have like 100% control is where you put that box. Because in a perfect world, that box should be centered in your house. Most of the time, that box is like in a corner, in a closet,
near
underneath
the
a
window.
cabinet,
Yes.
near a window.
Uh-oh.
And here's the thing to visualize. Let's say that box is on if you have multiple floors, let's say that box is on the first floor in your living room by a window. Guess where half of your Wi-Fi is going? Outside.
Oh, you know why we put them near the window? Thinking that it's gonna be faster if it's near the window because there's no obstruction. But then that's wired, right?
No. The only logic between having a router / modem by a window is when you're dealing with cellular. When you're dealing with cellular internet,
if the internet is from a cellular.
like whether it's cell phone, well, here in the US, we actually have
Pocket
routers
Wi-Fi. Yeah, we also have those.
That's cellular.
Yes.
So
yes.
when you're dealing with cellular, like cellular home internet, which is a big thing in the US now, it's T-Mobile has it, Verizon has it. They're coming out with 5G cellular routers for the house now, not just your
we
cell
have
phone.
those.
Those, they recommend you put them by a window because they have to get a signal from a tower that's outside somewhere.
Because
When
it's
you're
not
dealing with
connected via
fiber-
wire. Okay,
Right.
got it.
When you're dealing with fiber, fiber is actually a fiber optic wire that's running to your house. So because it's a physical cable, that box could be anywhere in your house that it comes in from. So if your internet service provider comes like through your wall from the outside to the inside, that's normally where they put the modem, the router. The problem is it's so close to a certain wall that half of your Wi-Fi signal is actually going outside.
Okay, so if it's like we have a modem that's in the house, it's best that we are. But the thing is, it would be obstructive. I mean, it's gonna,
It depends. You got to, and that's what I mean. You have to kind of judge, and it depends on how your house is built and the layout. Because let's say you have a house that has a few islands that separate like the front room to the kitchen or something like
yes, and
that.
sometimes there are walls, like rooms have doors, have walls.
And then you got rooms with doors and walls and everything. The more centralized you could put your router or that box, because here's the thing. You have the box that your internet service provider provides you, but then you got other people like myself that don't want to depend on that box because sometimes they don't give you the best one or the latest technology or the fastest one. So we go and we buy our own.
Okay, so what do you call that?
this is not a modem because modems bring internet from outside in. This is just a router. So normally what your internet service provider might give you is a combo. It's a modem and it's a router. This is just a router. So like me, I'll have like the one that comes from the internet service provider. Sometimes we have a lot of basements here. Sometimes that box would just be in our basement. But then we would have a wire from that box go to our living room, our bedroom or something like that. And then we would connect something like this. And we should try, if possible, to try to centralize this in the house as best as possible. That way the Wi-Fi covers as well as it can. And depending on how many walls you have, the material in your walls, how big your house is, something like this could cover everything and still be like by a wall and bleed out half your internet into the street.
Okay, I have a question with that one, Victor. Is that one the one you're holding? You said that's a router. Sometimes our providers will give, but here I do know that some depends on the promo or the kind of plan that you have. They still have that modem, and then they might give you something like that. Which is that similar, or is that likened to a mesh?
I don't want to say exactly it's like a mesh. And just to clarify what a mesh means, all a mesh means when it's kind of a thing. I don't want people to confuse what they call a mesh network with like Wi-Fi extenders.
Okay, there you go. So a Wi-Fi extender, is it the same as that one, or a mesh, or
No.
all three are different?
No. They're all different.
Okay.
This is 100% a router. So what this thing does is you connect your internet service provider, you connect a cable from that box to this, and
It's a
this
router.
provides everything. This is your network, this is your Wi-Fi, this is your wired connections. This does everything. And a lot of times, depending on what model you get, like this one I have in my hand, these are stronger, faster, and more powerful than what the internet service provider is going to give you. This is not an extender. This is 100% a full functioning network device. It's not an extender.
Okay. So what is the difference between an extender and an actual modem like the one that you're holding right now?
With the router, extenders do exactly what the name says. An extender will connect to your existing network and then extend the exact same signal further. That's all it's doing. So let's think of it like this. And I think this will relate with people more. You know how you have a power cord, but your power cord's only so long and your outlet's all the way on the other side of the room? And you have to get an extender.
An extension cord, yes.
Extension cord? Think of extenders as that. You're connecting it on one end and you're just extending it. But you have to be careful because since this is not a wired extension, it's a wireless extension, you have to place that extender in a certain spot where it's strong enough to communicate wirelessly to the main unit.
So if that is the case, Victor, so maybe that is why people think that extenders are actually useless. Because like in my case, I bought one extender thinking that because of that one extender, like my internet, my Wi-Fi can now like extend to the whole house. So no.
It not exactly. So extenders are not 100% horrible. And I think one of the things we have to take in consideration, and the terminology we use a lot in IT is best practices. What's the best practice? Extenders is at the bottom of the list. If you need to use something and you use an extent, that's like at the bottom of the list. That's like, yeah, you can use it, but it's not the greatest thing. Just like when people say, wire your computer, wire your cameras, wire everything. Everything should be wired to the internet. That's best practice. That's like, you want the highest quality, dependability and everything is to wire everything you can. Does that mean Wi-Fi is not going to work? No. Does that mean if you have a Bluetooth device, 100% is not going to work? No. It just means that one is better than the other. So extenders, all they really do is take your existing network. They don't provide you a new network or anything. They take your existing network and try to push it further. That's all an extender is going to do. But one of the other downsides of using an extender or even mesh networks is as soon as the device connects to your main device and it extends it or provides the Wi-Fi connection to other parts of your house, the speeds are slower. So like, let's say your internet speed right now, let's say you have like 500 down, and I know yours is super fast. You got like 500 down and let's say 500 up. As soon as you do an extender and your device connects to that extender, you might have like 100 down and 50 up. And you're like, well, wait a minute, I got 500, 500. Why is it only 100 and 100? Because the extender is already using its channels, its antennas, just to connect to your main one. And then it downshifts all the speeds. Even if you have a mesh network, anyone that has a mesh network, if you take your phone and you connect directly to the main unit, you're going to get X amount of speed. As soon as you go to the other room and you connect to the second router that's connected to the mesh, your speeds are probably going to be 50% less. Extending is I call it necessary evil. When you do extenders and mesh networks, those are kind of like necessary evils. It's not the best you could do. The best you could do is to have what I call a modular network. And that's why I like routers like this one. This one, you could create what I call a modular network where you could have a wire going from this to another room in your house. And then once it goes to that other room, if you want like Wi-Fi in that room, you would physically connect a wireless access point. And because it's a physical connection to the main box, not a wireless one, you're going to get full speed.
Oh, that's great. So let's say in my case, like right now, what I do is I have this, and Victor was like saying, Lala, you should need one of these, because what I do is from my actual router, which is like, several meters away from my room where I am actually live streaming right now. So what I did was to buy like a 20 to 30 meter long LAN cable that goes from my router down to my room, but then it goes directly to my computer, right? But my other gadgets don't have it, right? So what you're saying
is a good example.
Yes, if I want other gadgets, I can have that one. I'm gonna get this correct.
I'm gonna clarify it a little bit.
Okay.
So because you have a physical cable going from your main device all the way to that room, you have options. Better options than just taking that cable and plugging it into your computer and you're done. So here are your options, and I'm gonna kind of break it down a little bit. You could use what's called a switch. And think of a switch as kind of like a splitter. You connect that one cable, not to your computer, but to a switch. And what that does is, depending on the switch you get, 5-port, 8-port, we in the business, we go up to like a 48-port port switch. And what I mean by port, think of it as just connection. So if you get, let's say,
Sorry, Victor, is this something like the cal digit stuff like that? Is that a
No.
port? No.
You're thinking computer connections, not internet. The cal digit provides more connections, more ports, but computer ports, not internet ports.
Oh, okay.
So give me a second. I'm positive I have one laying. Yep, I do. Victor's going to be like Doc Rock, except I don't have a cabinet. I just have tables and I throw everything on top of a table. This is a switch.
Oh, so it looks like the modem.
It not to get it confused with modems and routers, because the job it does is what defines what it is. So a router routes. It provides IP addresses. It provides, communication between devices locally and to the Wi-Fi and out. Okay. Routers do a lot bigger job than a switch. Okay. All a switch does is something similar to like a cal digit, but instead of computer connections, this is internet connections. So there's normally one connection where you will put like that single cable you have. But now I have 7 more. So I would put one cable to your computer, one cable to, let's say you had an A10 mini,
Smart
one
TV.
Cable to your printer, one cable to your TV if you need like an internet connection to your TV. This makes one connection to 7.
Oh, they will all get from that.
From the one cable coming in, they will all be able to connect to your local LAN and to the internet, as long as you got it connected to that
what
one
about
cable.
The
so
speed?
You take the cable off your computer and you put it there. It will be the speed of whatever this thing is limited to. So you have to be careful when you buy something like this, because they sometimes will still try to sell you an old one. So as long as this box says gigabit, it'll be the same speed. So let's say, for example, you got 500 down, 500 up. As long as you use the right switch and the right cable, every single device you connect to this, in theory, should be able to do 500 down and 500 up. It always depends on the slowest device. So as long as you have a gigabit switch, the proper cable, then the limitation should be the device itself. Because like, let's say you have a TV and the TV could only do 100. Then it's the TV that's maxing it out. Your computer should be able to do a gigabit. So you should be able to get the 400 or 500 up, 400 or 500 down. So like in your case, Lala, at a minimum, a switch. But now I'm going to change that up on you. And don't worry, when I come to the Philippines, I can help you decide.
Yes,
Not that
guys,
you want to wait until next year.
Yes, Victor is going to be helping us with the craft getaway in Boracay. So he will be here in Feb. Yay! So instead of November, we decided that it's best that he comes in Feb. So we have additional tech support actually in Feb. Thank you, Victor. Right, Victor. So by the way, Bracket Reviews is here. Remember, Mateo? My gosh, he's like really crushing it. It's now almost 35,000 subscribers because he does really amazing tech reviews, guys. So if you are not yet subscribed to Bracket Reviews and you're interested in a lot of tech stuff, okay, so and he is like unboxing and then reviews all of these things like watches and other phones, stuff like that. So head on to his channel, and hopefully before the end of the year we can have him here as a guest, because right now he's super duper busy, and he's saying I like the way he is explaining. Awesome. Oh, that refers to you, Victor.
I try.
Right. And then I am learning too, he said. Thank you so much, Amateo. There.
So now here's the difference. And this is where I would recommend something like this for you, Lala. Think of this as being bigger and better. And I don't mean by the size of the device. Let's say, for example, you want your network to be your own. You know how they say have a dedicated computer for your live streams?
Yes.
Imagine having a dedicated network for your live streams. So while your kids will connect to your other Wi-Fi and your other network and do their video games, do whatever it is they do, you get something like this. Connect this to that one cable. You could create your own Wi-Fi
Oh,
network, your own local network separate. So that means none of your kids' devices will be able to communicate with your devices because you're on a completely
oh.
separate network.
Okay, let me get this. Let me see if I got this right, Victor. So, okay, so I bring that one in here in my live streaming
Yep.
setup. Okay, and I get a cable. I connect to my router or my modem outside, bring it here with one cable, right? But my kids connect not to my router in my room, but to the actual original router, so that we
Yep.
will not split with the like
You
speed and
you
stuff.
would split, and here's where some people get confused. You will still
Okay.
be sharing the actual internet connection,
Oh, still sharing. Okay.
but you will be isolating the devices. So their phones, their computers, and all their devices would not be able to communicate with your devices. And sometimes they do that for security. But now I'm going to take that a little step further, and I'm going to try to say this without confusing people. Normally, when you get a device from your internet service provider, it's limited. It's limited in what it could do, it's limited in what you could make it do.
Mm-mm.
This is totally different. I have something like this. Well, I have two of these. I have one just like this that I use sometimes here in my room, but then I got one for the house. But let me see if I could try to explain this. Something like this alone
Okay.
can create multiple networks. And by creating multiple networks, you could have, for example, Mommy Inc. is one network, and you only connect your studio equipment to that one.
Okay.
Then you could have guest, and anyone that comes to visit, they connect to that one. And then you could say, I have a third one, family. So your kids, your family, everything could connect to that one. And now you could create, like, let's say, for example, like rules. If you're a guest, I'm going to let you go on the internet. But as a guest, you can't talk to none of my devices, none of my kids' devices, nothing in the house, just you could go to the internet.
Oh, that's nice.
And then let's say you're like with the kids. Okay, this is the network that's going to be for the family. You could go on the internet. You could talk to my printer. You could talk to this. But at 12 o'clock, or wait, you're in the Philippines. At 8 p.m., everyone's going to sleep. So at 8 p.m., I'm cutting off the internet.
No way. We sleep midnight.
You could, well, you're probably different, but I keep hearing that everyone's got curfew or something like 8 o'clock. That
Yeah, when
families
you're
are old school in
student,
the
yes, when
Philippines.
you're younger. That's true.
So you have so much control when you use your own. You could set it up to, like I said, you could set it up where there's separate networks. You connect
That's
different
nice.
devices to those networks. You could turn around and like schedule things. Like I said, let's say on Monday through Friday, school days, you want to make sure your kids are not playing video games online with their friends after 9 o'clock or something like that, or 10 o'clock. You could set this up that at 10 o'clock, it no longer provides them access to the actual internet.
Okay, moms,
So
dads.
next
Okay,
thing you
what
know
do we
is
call this? What do we call that thing that you are showing us again, Victor? Maybe do you have like an
it's
affiliate
just a
or whatever
router.
for that one? Nothing? But what do you call
No,
that?
no. It's just a router. But you just got to be careful what model you get, because this is a router.
Okay.
This is a router.
So what do you
I mean,
suggest that we get? That one looks like the extender I got.
this is actually a travel router. It's one of two that I have. This does everything. You run a cable to this, to your modem. This does your Wi-Fi. This does everything. But this is considered a travel router. So like when you, let's say like you said, you went to DC.
Yes.
If you had something like this, if there was something on the wall in the B&B or wherever you were at that you could run a cable, you run the cable to this, and then this is going to provide you with your personal Wi-Fi, your personal network. That way you don't have to worry about passwords. What's the password for the hotel? Let's say I don't know the password of the hotel, but I see on the wall where I could run a cable. I run the cable from here to the wall. Now it's my own password. I have 100% control.
Oh my goodness.
And this
Really?
does Wi-Fi and everything.
But I still do have to like access originally the password from the hotel for the room, no?
Not if they have a connection on the wall where you just run a cable. Once you run a cable to the wall, that's it. You're done. You have full control.
Unless if it's Wi-Fi that they provide, they can. But if there's
and that's what's nice. And that's what's nice about these travel routers like this.
Mm-hmm.
If I know the Wi-Fi password to the hotel and everything, I could actually connect this to the Wi-Fi, and now I have physical connections that I could put to my computer and everything. I don't need to connect to their Wi-Fi for every single device. And not only that, some of these devices have VPNs, and VPN's a totally different story. VPN's a totally different story because a lot of people are concerned with security.
Yes,
so I don't want to use the hotel Wi-Fi and have someone like somehow steal my information or get get information from me. Use something like this, especially with a VPN.
Okay.
Now,
Victor, sorry, what do we call that? I will take note. What do you call that? Travel?
This is just a travel router. There's many different models, but I am becoming a very big fan of this company. It is GL.iNet.
GL.iNet.
Yep. This is actually my first one. I bought another one, newer, bigger, faster, stronger.
Victor!
They got one, I'm going to tell you right now, and I don't think I'm going to buy it anytime soon because I'm doing other projects, but they have one now that I'm so excited about. It's a travel router. It's a little bit bigger.
Okay.
It's got multiple antennas. And you know how on your phone and your portable hotspots, you got the cell card, the SIM card?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, I can put it inside?
The new model, yes. The new model, you could put up to 2.
Oh.
You literally
so you can do like a Speedify?
Not like a Speedify with that one, but what that one does is it's going to use whatever connection you tell it to, or it decides is the stronger one.
Oh, yes. We have phones like that have dual SIMs, so you can choose.
Yeah. So it's a dual SIM, so you could choose, or you can let it decide on its own which one has the stronger connection.
Okay.
But this is a nice device because then you have that failover. You have that protection. If the one connection goes down, it switches to the other connection.
All right.
So you can't use them both at the same time.
Both at the same time, yes.
You can't, but you can use it as a failover. So if one goes down, it switches to the other one.
Correct. I have another question, Victor. That travel router.
Yes.
Do you know if cruise ships have cables inside the rooms or just Wi-Fi? Can I actually use that so that I can go live?
You could still use it if you connect to their wireless, because I guarantee you they have wireless. But do they have actual cables running in the ship? That I wouldn't know. I'm not familiar with cruise ships. Is it possible? Yeah, you could run physical cables, but whether they do or not, I don't know. And cruise ships use a totally different technology. They either use like a point-to-point type network, or for all I know, they probably still use satellite or something like that on the cruise ship. So it's different technology to bring the internet to the boat. But once it's in the boat, they could physically run cables if they want.
Yeah, they say the one that we're going to has Starlink. I don't know what Starlink.
Starlink is Starlink. Starlink is satellite, but it's the what's his guy? The guy that makes Elon Musk. Elon Musk owns Starlink.
Oh, that's why. Okay, got it. All right. So anyway, so Sammy's saying hi to Master Red, and she said we sleep All right. So because my daughter doesn't sleep when because she's always studying. All right. Portable Wi-Fi router. Give me 10. Yes, because she always is the one who has to have routers. What's up, fam? Hi, Johnny E. Okay. Thanks for dropping by. All right. So maybe Johnny. Johnny, are you from Ecam fam or from OVMG? Thanks for dropping by. Okay. So next question, Victor. Okay, so we actually think I more or less really understand what Wi-Fi and internet means. Okay, so now in terms of again going back to the live streaming purpose, are there any specific requirements for a Wi-Fi network to ensure smooth live streaming, and how can streamers optimize their Wi-Fi setup? Right? So if
All
there's
right.
no option
So
for, as you said, best practice, always be
best
wired.
practice.
But if we can't do
Right.
that, so we have to settle for Wi-Fi. So what is a specific requirement for a Wi-Fi network to ensure smooth live streaming, and how can live streamers optimize their Wi-Fi setup?
All right. So what I would recommend is to make sure you have. I'm going to use Lala. I'm going to use your situation as a perfect example.
Okay.
You have your own room that you have all your setup in and everything right now for your streams, and you said you have a cable, but the cable just goes straight to your computer. If you want to utilize Wi-Fi and try to make Wi-Fi most stable as possible, you want to make sure you have Wi-Fi in that room. So by using something like this is Wi-Fi and wired, you could do the best of both worlds. You could either wire your connection, and this is why I say best of both worlds. I love my Mevo cameras. My Mevo cameras are on my network. They're wireless. They're on Wi-Fi. Most of my Mevo cameras are on Wi-Fi. So having something like this on your desk and you running that wire here, you would be able to use wireless cameras. Your iPhone, if you're using an app or Camo or something like that.
Yes.
But
Oh
at
yeah,
the same
Camo now can do
time,
Wi-Fi. Yeah, I heard Eden said.
I heard
Yes.
Camo could be wireless now. Yeah.
Yes.
And then if you want, you could also run the cables from these little switches to like your computer and stuff. But having Wi-Fi in the same room, here's the other best practice or rule, and this is the one that everyone messes up. When it comes to Wi-Fi, there should be line of sight. And what I mean by line of sight is I
Okay.
should be able to see it. So
Oh.
many people get routers and throw them in entertainment centers. They lock them up in closets. It's
Yes, or
like,
sometimes put them under the table like that.
put them under the table. I mean, unless you have kids and you're worried they're going to take it and throw it across the room, you don't want this next to a TV. You don't want this next to a microwave. You want it, let's say you have like a lot of people have like their sofas and dining room, not the living room. In the living room, you have your sofas and you have your little tables where you put your lamp and stuff. You can put this on one of those little tables. Just make sure you got it like connected or wired or whatever. But
So line of sight, like sitting down, Victor, not like on top of the cabinet or
no. Line of sight. So these work best in open areas. So you know what they call it, open floor plan, where you don't
Yes,
have
yes,
a lot of
yes.
walls. Not saying it
Open
won't work,
concept.
where you don't have a lot of walls and stuff, and it just has all the room to just spread. Now, as soon as you start adding walls, it could go, the signal could go through the wall. But here's what happens. As soon as the signal goes through one wall, it distorts the signal. It makes the speed slower. If it has to go through a second wall, it distorts the signal. It has to go slower. So keep that in mind. So if it's possible, and it doesn't have to be a complete router like this, and this is why I like these devices,
Mhm.
and I call them modular.
Module.
You could get, like, perfect example, Lala. You could get a device that's called an access point. All it does is the Wi-Fi part. There are no cables for you to run like to other device. It's just 100% just the Wi-Fi part. I have one laying over there, but I don't want to grab it because it's actually wired. You
Uh-huh.
connect this access point, and normally these access points are where you would like screw them to the wall or hang them on the ceiling.
Okay.
That would provide Wi-Fi for your entire room, maybe even extend it further. So when you have a house like mine where it's 2 floors and it's like so long, and you have something like this on one side of the house,
Mhm.
it's a good idea to wire a second one on the next floor on like the opposite side of the house. That way the signals
Yeah. My offices
cross
are
and
like 3
everything.
levels. Other one is at 2 levels. So I need I need
Yeah.
several of those.
So I would say what you need is either a switch, or if
Mhm.
you want to have like your completely own network, an actual router.
Mm.
Now, another thing you could do to, I think one of the things a lot of people say is, oh, make sure you have everybody else get off the internet. Make sure you have everyone else turn off their cell phones or anything. It's not so much, especially with you, Lala, you have real good internet speeds and everything. It's
Mhm.
not so much that everyone else needs to get off the Wi-Fi or off the internet. It's more of how your internet's set up. And I'm going to try to see if I could explain this. So let's say you only have the one box
Yes.
and it's on one side of your house.
Mhm.
And you are on, let's say, the second floor, all the way in the opposite side of the house with your phone. You only have 1 or 2 bars, but you could still connect. You could still go on the internet, but it's super slow.
Mhm.
Here's the problem. Sam could be sitting right next to the box on the first floor, and her internet is super slow. Why? She's right next to the box because you're connected to it,
Mm.
causing it to slow everything down because you're on the opposite side of the house.
Oh, this is the one where you said that it doesn't matter how fast our internet is, the speed everybody gets is dependent upon the slowest one that's connected
The
to it.
slowest the slowest device that's connected, and the
Okay.
one with the weakest signal.
So
And
that's
this is
why if you have
why,
like a separate one, that can be prevented.
or what we call access points. So here's a
Access
perfect
points.
example. If you walk into any kind of business, I want everyone to get in the habit of doing this and don't think it's
Mhm.
weird. Let's say you walk into a store and that store is a real big, like, box store or whatever store, and
Mhm.
that store has internet. Start looking up and see if you notice like a bunch of white boxes every I do feet, every 20 to 40 feet.
Mhm.
Chances are every single one of those is what we call an access point. Every one of those does Wi-Fi. And what happens is, when you go to a company office, when you go to a doctor's office, when you go to these stores, any location that provides Wi-Fi throughout the whole like store or business,
Mhm.
you're going to see multiple Wi-Fi access points. And the reason they do this is to prevent issues like that, because normally if my phone is connected to this access point, by the time I move that 40, 50 feet, my phone should switch to the closer one. That way, every time I'm moving around the place, my phone should constantly always keep switching to a different one.
Ah,
So
and
when
in
I
so
say it
doing,
slows it down,
Victor, we don't prevent the internet from dropping because you're still get because if you get weak, everybody gets a weak signal as well.
right, and it's
Ah.
only per
Mm-mm.
access point. So if you have a place that's real big and you kind
Mm-mm.
of have one part of the house that's super weak, it's in your best interest to put something like an access point or something
Can
that's going to
one buy an
provide a
access
separate.
point? What's that? A gadget? What do you call it? Can we buy that, or does the provider, our network provider,
What your network provider, at least here in the States, would try to give you is more of like an extender. It's not an actual access point. An access point, they look different and everything. And like I said, I have one over there, but I can't. Well, hold on.
Okay. But don't get disconnected, Victor. And we have Janet. Hi, Janet in the house. Another Ecamm fam member in the house. Thank you, Johnny E, for dropping by. Okay, Johnny is from our Ecamm fam, Victor.
Oh no, I know who Johnny is.
Yeah. And hi, Anna.
This is my access point in this room.
Oh, what? That's big.
Well.
Yeah. Oh, is this
They
big as
come
your
in
face?
different. They come in different sizes. So all this does is Wi-Fi. That's it. And this model is a little bit different. So let me see if I can tilt it right. So you would put that cable that you have like here.
From the router.
The one that you got to your computer. So the one that you have connected to your computer right now.
Yes.
You would connect
there.
Here. Oh. And then this will provide Wi-Fi with 100% speed, no downshifting, no nothing, in your room and outside your room and around your room. It's not just your room. It's going to give a good signal.
Maybe that's what we need in Boracay.
In Boracay, okay, so this is the crazy setup with me. In Boracay, and again, this is the difference between just Wi-Fi connection and actual internet. I want to see if you could follow this. No internet, no nothing. Just this router right here connected to power.
Power. No. Okay, let me get that
no
again.
No internet, no nothing. Just power.
Okay.
And then I run a cable from this box 100 feet away and connect this. That is going to provide no internet, a network connection. So I would be able to take network cameras like my Mevo Starts, put one next to us, put one 100 feet away, maybe another 100 feet away in that direction, another 100 feet away in that direction, and put them on the same Wi-Fi, no internet, Wi-Fi connection. And then you take your MacBook Pro or whatever you take to Boracay, you connect to a cable from here to your MacBook Pro. No internet.
Okay, still getting it.
You're going to be able to bring all those cameras into Ecamm.
Awesome.
Because you're on the same network. And because we use Macs, now you still have your wireless connection for your MacBook Pro. You connect your MacBook Pro to the Wi-Fi in Boracay, and now you have access to the internet to stream out.
Okay, but I can also do like a wired to my MacBook Pro or to my Mac Mini.
You could only do one wire, one wireless, unless you use something like Speedify. So if you're already using this as a wired connection, you only have a wireless connection left on your MacBook.
Oh yeah, you're right. Correct.
Now let's take that to another level. Let's say at Boracay we had this.
Okay.
But we actually could connect it with a cable to the internet. And then I run another cable 100 feet away and put one of these.
Okay.
And then I run another cable 100 feet going the other direction.
That's possible.
Now we have even a bigger area that not only will we be providing a local connection, but we'll be providing an internet connection for multiple hundreds of square feet. So every time you connect another one of these,
super nice.
So there's a lot of things you could do when you have a network like this that could work with things like this, because this is all the same company. I love this company. It's all the same company. So this is what these are access points.
Okay.
Well, this is different. This is unified.
Oh yeah, unified.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is from a company called Ubiquity. I love unified network equipment. I have it all over my house.
Oh yeah, you helped me find one. I think it's available here locally, right? You found one.
I think you found one, but when you saw the price, you were like, "Oh my god!"
Oh yeah, that was the more, and
Because
that's
this
not even
one,
the most expensive one, right?
no, mine is more expensive. My other one
Yes.
is more expensive than this one. This one, I don't even think they sell this one anymore. This is like an older model. This one was like 300 US. The newer one that I have sitting on my desk over there, that one's 200 US. The one that I actually use for the main part of my house is a more like corporate setup.
Mm-hmm.
So the router alone is almost 400 US. No Wi-Fi, no nothing. All it does is
Yeah.
the routing part of. I mean,
But for
it gets
events,
complicated
I
once you
think
get in
that
there.
would be okay because if or you like for big or for offices, right? Because that's gonna be very useful.
Let's say for example, when you did that live stream at that seminar.
Oh yeah, but the in real
Yeah.
life one, yeah.
So what I would do if it was me, if
Mm-hmm.
they had a cable connection just going to that room, not necessarily where you were with your computer,
Mm-hmm.
but let's say on the wall in that same conference room area, they had a connection on the wall. That's where I would use something like this. That way, it's not connecting to their devices, so they don't have to worry about like the security for their own computers, like getting virus or anything,
Mm-hmm.
because this will be your own network, and this will be providing a nice Wi-Fi connection in the exact same room you were. You could have did a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
every
so they
device
it's a
has
good
its
thing that
uses.
their internet was fast enough. So thank you again, Victor, actually for helping me test the network. Okay, was is that a correct word? The network that they
Network,
had
yeah, the
during that.
network.
All right, whew, I'm
Yeah,
learning. All right,
yeah, you're
so there
learning.
you go. Um, Okay. So, okay, let me see. Anna is here. Janet was here again. Yeah. And Janet saying that he has a couple of access points in his house. Oh, so I think Johnny is just like you. He's also very techy, right?
Yeah,
Probably.
yeah, yeah. No, I've seen Johnny a lot. Johnny and spends a lot of times in building blocks and stuff with Fogen and Anna and stuff like that. I know who Johnny is.
Okay, maybe I have. Yeah, I've seen a lot of. Yeah, maybe I've also have seen Johnny. Especially now, I've been binge watching a lot of the master classes and stuff from Ecamm, right? So I have to
Yeah,
come back and watch from the
actually,
beginning. Yes.
actually, Johnny, correct me if I'm not wrong. I think Fogens just announced that you're gonna be doing a show with soon. Is it Monday?
Oh
If Johnny's
wow.
still
Okay,
here,
we'll
he
be
can let us
there.
know. So Johnny, I
Monday
think is
would be
supposed to be live
Tuesday
with
for me.
probably like Tuesday morning for you.
I think their show, if it's gonna be on Anna and Fulgen's show, it's probably
I
morning
think
for
it's their
me.
normal show. Yeah, yeah. So I think it's gonna
Yeah.
be Tuesday morning for you because they do it Monday evening.
Yes, yes. I'll be there. All right. So there
Yeah.
you go. And yes, Anna, please do come back and watch from the beginning. You know, Anna and I more or less were on the same level in terms of tech. So that's why I love Victor because the way he explains things is, he really tries to explain it to somebody like me who is also part of a community of crafters and creatives who are also not much into tech. So we really
Right.
appreciate the way you explain this kind of complicated things in a way that we can actually understand. So thank you, Victor. Excellent explanation. There you go from Bracket Reviews. All right. Janet says, oh, wow. Right. So Anne has a question. Is that
Yes.
the same concept for PC or StreamYard user? The one that you
Here's
mentioned about connections and stuff.
here's the thing. Here's the thing to keep in mind when we're talking. What our entire topic is on networks, internet, Wi-Fi. That doesn't matter if it's PC, StreamYard, vMix, doesn't matter if it's a Chromebook, tablet, whatever. We're talking about networks, Wi-Fi, internet connection. That's everything. Phones, tablets, it does not matter what software, what device you're using, because we're talking about connectivity. We're talking about connections to your network. That's everything.
Okay.
That's everything.
There you go. I hope that helps, Anna. All right. So, okay. Because I think Anna is using StreamYard. Hopefully, we
Yes.
can, bring Anna into eCam.
Bring
Just kidding.
Lionel to the dark
All right. So,
side.
okay. So, Janet is asking, do you have that info in the description or comments? Sadly, no, Janet. But okay, I will coordinate with Victor. Victor, maybe I can have like a list of the things that you mentioned in terms of, from the portable router
The
to
travel
the
router to
yes,
my
and then where
recommendations
we can
for
find
modular
them.
setup.
Yes,
Yeah.
if you have affiliate links, please send it over as well. We would be glad to support you. Right? Okay, there you go. Yes, always learning. Absolutely. No, we had a show for the Haiti creators. Oh, okay. So it's a different show. Okay. So we'll look out for for that, Johnny. Okay. Yes, he
Right.
comes down to our level. He is awesome. Right, Anna? That's why, I have asked Victor to come in once a month where we actually, although I'm not a tech channel, but the tech that we talk about are actually things that will resonate with us because, we're also live streaming or doing events, vlogging as, creatives and artists. There you go. Hi, Sammy from Janet. He is having Eliseo Way as a guest
Eliseo
on
Way.
Monday on ENN.
Ah.
So
I could swear
it's not Johnny
yeah,
yet.
it's not Johnny. I could have sworn he mentioned you. I want to say when he did his Mac Studio unboxing.
when
I thought he mentioned you about something, Johnny. I'm sorry.
oh wow, the unboxing. Do you have the Macs already? Are you gonna jump in on?
I am debating.
Oh my god,
Not because I need a Mac Studio,
Victor!
but it's not like it's gonna be bad. But you know what? I need to slow down because one, I'm
Yes,
planning
remember
the
you have
Philippines
to go here in February.
so that's and I was joking with my boss. I know it's a side thing. I was joking with my boss, and he's not an Apple person. I'm a tech person. I don't care if it's Apple, Windows. Let's get that straight
exactly.
right now. I love Mac. I love everything. Whatever
Yes.
you get to do the job. But when I found out about Vision Pro coming out like next year or something like that, and it's like $3,500 US and everything, my boss had a meeting with me the other day and he told me what I was getting for a bonus. And I told him, oh, great. I'm going to get my Vision Pro then next year. And he's like, okay, I'm taking your bonus back.
No,
I'm like,
tell him. No, actually, I'm
going
going on a much needed vacation. I'm going to the Philippines. There you go. You might, maybe you can add some more, so I can also get that.
So the Rodecaster Pro Duo, which should be coming in sometime today, that's it. And here's the thing: I want to make sure I clarify this for everyone. And I know I'm going off topic a little bit.
Okay.
Sometimes Victor buys things to help you. It's not that I need it. I see so many questions in the other communities where people are having issues with their Rodecaster Pro 2 and everything. The Duo is pretty much the same thing, but it's a smaller device. I can't help you if I don't know how to use it myself. So it's not that I need it. It's not going to hurt for me to use it and have it. But it's more for me to learn how to use it. That way I could help other people with their questions. Because especially a lot of people, and this is a little bit back into the topic, a lot of people like to use Zoom, and I think you used to use Zoom a lot. You bring Zoom in, but you're always having like audio questions or audio issues. How do I bring the audio from Zoom in? And everyone's like,
that was horrible, Victor. I remember those days where I had to bring in people from Zoom. When Ecam didn't have the multiple, guests come in. Yeah.
Yeah. And then everyone's answer is loopback. I tried loopback. Loopback is confusing to me.
Yeah, I tried it.
That's
also.
why I would never recommend it. My understanding with the Rodecaster Pro 2 and a Rodecaster Duo, maybe even the one you have, you should be able to route all that audio through the Rodecaster. So I need to learn all that stuff. That way I could help people stop using loopback.
All right. So hopefully Victor really stops. Okay, he's been on it for quite a while now. He's like on gas. You know what gas means? Gear acquisition syndrome for the past couple of
I'll
months.
show. Yeah,
So he has
I'll
to
show
stop.
my little. I'll show my little craziness before
All
we
right,
end the
so maybe
stream.
yes.
But
Okay,
yeah,
so as a bonus, guys. So again, if you do have extra questions about, Wi-Fi and internet and all those things that you are needed, okay, for you to be able to live stream. So Victor said, remember, I think takeaway before we move on to our bonus part is that being on Wi-Fi and you want to live stream, that's fine. Okay, of course, best. What do you call this? Best
practice.
practice is that you be wired, right? If you want to really make sure that everything will be hopefully on point. But if there is no other option, then Wi-Fi is a very viable option. Okay. Again, Victor, before we go to that, okay, Anna just wanted to say, got it, regardless of the equipment. Love the
Yep.
explanation. There you go. And
Yep.
Miss
Yep.
Katrina Crosena, thank you so much, Miss Kat. By the way, I remember Miss Kat is actually curated a Father's Day gift, okay, for those who are in the chat right now. You can get, but of course, those who are locally based here in the Philippines, because because Father's Day is already tomorrow, right? So I'm giving out 5 gift sets, okay, for Father's Day, and this is what it looks like, Victor. Okay, this is the Father's Day gift set that Miss Kat Crescena in the chat, her company for craftness sake has curated for Mommy Guide Inc. Okay, so this is what we're gonna be giving out to the winner, and that one is leather, and she can personalize it to put in the name of the father. Okay, that you want to give this
Ooh.
as a gift. Okay, so probably it may not come by tomorrow, maybe just a belated Father's Day, but we did the first raffle last Wednesday. But indeed, again, thank you so much, Miss Kat, for curating this for us. So wait for it because we will raffle it out at the end of the show. That's why you're such a good teacher, Victor. Yes, there were many times we almost destroyed, like when some of his stuff, like when I have problems with my Roadcaster wireless Go 2 before. No, not it's not a Roadcaster, it's an Elgato.
The mics.
Yes, the,
Well,
the road
you
wireless.
had sometimes
Oh,
with the
not Elgato,
mics. Yeah.
Lala. See, I even mix up the companies.
Road
The
wireless
Road
Go
Wireless
too.
Go 2. All right. So, I had a boo-boo with it. So, Victor helped me figure it out. There you go. So, and then he said, okay, I will try. I will reboot mine. Whatever I did, he did to his. But I said, oh, you might destroy. Oh, it's okay. That's how we're going to learn, right? So, he really tries to simulate what I've done so that he can understand better, right? So that's how he is actually, that's why he's very good at troubleshooting, right? So there you go. Okay, yes, I use loop back and I get confused. Yes, Johnny, I didn't have any option
I
before,
will
right, Victor?
never.
Because I
would
remember
never.
before, Victor, we are only limited to 4 guests. And during my crafty
Right.
night, sometimes I bring in 6, 7, 8 guests. So I didn't have an option but to bring in the people from Zoom. And what a headache I have when it comes to audio before. But now it's okay, right? So there you go. Love it. Beautiful, said. Okay, Janet. Guys, Janet is Animal Paradise Communication and Healing. And of course, Johnny is Johnny E. and Bracket Review. So everybody there in the chat has their own channel. And all of you guys are content creators. And another one, Ellie. Oh my goodness, Ellie. Hi. All right. Hi, Ellie. Thanks for dropping by. Ellie, actually, okay, it has an amazing program. Okay, especially if you are having a lots of aches and pains in your body. Okay, best to follow Ellie on Facebook and on YouTube. All right, Victor, are you ready for the bonus part?
Before we go to the bonus part,
Okay.
there was one important thing that I forgot
Okay.
to mention is when it comes to technology, technology is always advancing. Technology is always changing. So
Mhm.
one of the other big issues with a lot of people when they try to do streaming and all this stuff and they're dealing with their Wi-Fi and everything is if you do have a second device, like I was talking about routers and everything, sometimes people don't realize that you have to update those things every few years. So if you do use a router, check how old it is, check the technology. If it is not a newer router in the last, let's say, couple years, let's say you had your own router for like 10, 15 years, replace it. You don't want to use an old network router, especially if you're paying like Lala's got fiber, she's got five down and who knows how many hundreds up. You're not going to be able to do that with a router that's 10 years old, 15 years old. So
Mhm.
look at the router you have if you use one, and make sure it's a more current technology. Right now, the latest is greatest is what's called Wi-Fi 6. So if yours is real old and it's time to upgrade, probably start looking into a Wi-Fi 6 router.
Okay. So there you go. So it doesn't matter if your connection is fiber, but if your router cannot handle it. So it's thank you for that reminder. And look at my daughter. My daughter is saying, get well soon with your gas, mom. I don't have gas. Victor has. Yes, gear acquisition syndrome. There you go. No, just kidding. I know she's kidding. Yes. Ellie is thanking Anna. I appreciate you. There you go. Oh, good advice. Replace router. Yes. Janet is actually quite techie also, being in the, broadcasting industry for quite a long while. All right, guys. Okay. So Victor in a few months is gonna be here in the Philippines, and probably before even that, he is going to be part of the eCam Creator Camp in October,
Yes.
right? And because of course it's gonna be in Boston, right, in Massachusetts. So
Boston.
okay, so it's gonna be it not within his city, and even in live streaming from there. So Victor has actually been tweaking around with things like how to best actually bring it live or do some live. So he has been tweaking and working on something, and I am sure that you guys are gonna be very excited to see what it is. So take it away, Victor.
All right, and just remember, I'm excessive, and when I'm trying to create, it's something that could be like a multi-purpose thing. So whether I use everything or I break it up in parts, it's I'm just warning you now.
Okay. There you go.
Oh, it disappeared. Hold on, let me make sure the camera is still.
Okay. So while
Ah,
waiting for Victor, okay, so maybe it died. So he's going because it's been there. We actually connected it before the start of the show. Again, I hope that this has been for those coming in late. I highly suggest that you do watch the replay because really Victor unpacked the many different things that somehow we always mix up between Wi-Fi and router extenders, and all of these things that before, if you talk to me about it, I would just look like and it's really a blank. I do not understand absolutely, right? Oh my, you are going to meet Marcus, and wish I could go. Yes, and actually I am praying that I get my visa, okay, because my visa expires in September. So I actually applied, and I'm waiting for the renewal. Hopefully I get it so I can actually go there as well, and hope to meet all of you. There you go. Yes, thank you, Ellie. Yes, I will have to watch the replay. Thank you. Actually, Amateo, you actually almost was able to start to see it from the beginning. Just very little. Guys, bracket reviews. This is Amateo. He's a friend of mine when we were both starting. Okay, I think Victor has got it corrected already. So he does amazing tech reviews. Okay, so just like Victor, he also, unpacks things very, very, in plain language and easy to understand and digest, even if you're not tech person like me. Thank you, Anna. Indeed, prayers. I've been like checking on my travel agent every other day. Do we have updates? Do we have updates? This morning, she messaged me and said that it's still in the embassy. So no further updates yet. So let's see. I missed some part. Okay, there you go. Thank you so much, Mateo. Oh my, Victor, Ellie is in the Boston area. Oh my, I hope we can go and I could meet all of you guys. All right, but don't worry, Anna, because I'm also planning to go to Texas because one of my dear friends actually has a place in Texas. So we might go there as a group in the very near future. Victor, are you ready? Okay, so let's go to Victor, guys. There you go.
The camera I was going to use died, so I'm trying to use my phone, but it's still having some issues. But
okay, so yes, it's okay. We can see it right now. Actually, very clear, Victor.
So I have this orange case. So if you see right there, the one with the ears, that's actually the other travel router that I have. That one's a Wi-Fi 6. Remember, I mentioned that just a little while ago.
Victor, can you point to it so we can actually understand? Which one are you referring to, Kent?
Well, one hand is holding the phone, the other hand's holding the light. So, like, when it's not a camera that's standing there, but
okay, so again, what do we see here? Okay, so we see like a block box.
We're looking right now,
and we see a gray box.
You see a gray box with 2 antennas and like 5 wires.
Oh yeah, okay. The antennas are pointing down. Okay.
Yeah, that's the router.
Okay.
And that's a Wi-Fi 6 router. And that is wired to 2 cellular hotspots. That's what's to the side. They're both on top of each other. So those 2 hotspots, one is with one cellular company, one is with another. That is providing cell data to the router.
Okay.
The router is utilizing Speedify. So it's going to take those 2 connections and bond them together for better internet stability and reliability. The router could also connect to a wireless connection. So I could set up like my cell phone or anything else as a hotspot and add a third or fourth connection.
Let me stop you there, Victor, to ask. Okay, so we see 2 white cables coming from the other one. So that is the one providing data.
Yeah, so the 2 white cables are probably the power cables because you got to power all that stuff. But you see the gray cables that are connecting it, that's going to the router. So it's a bunch of cables.
So there are 3 other cables on the router. What are those 3 cables?
Okay, so if you're looking at the router,
yes,
all the way on the one side is a data cable. Then the other one is also another data cable. So the 2 on the one side are connecting to the travel. Here, hold on. You're not going to hear me too good, but I'm going to show you.
Okay.
This cable here and this cable here is the data cables to the routers.
Okay.
This cable is to connect to another device if you have it. And then, no, this cable here is to connect to your computer. So the first 2 is data coming in. The third one is to go to your computer. The fourth one is a USB connection to add another internet connection if you have it. And the white one is power.
Oh, wow. Okay, so what's
So you got to have power, you got to have connection. So that router, I have it set up where it can bring in multiple connections. So 2 of them are coming in with a data cable. Mm-hmm. There's another data cable that's hard to see without the light. It's the black one. That is to connect to your computer. And then the black one next to that is to connect to like a cell phone or another device to bring in another internet connection. So I could have up to 4 different internet connections on that router. Okay. And then all this mess down there, that's just the batteries and all that stuff to power everything.
Wow.
So I have multiple batteries, multiple cables. So again, this is my craziness, but I'm going to be adding probably a monitor and a bunch of other stuff to the box. So this is just...
so this is just a work in progress. So it's not even finished yet.
This is a work in progress, yeah. And then let's say, for example, all I care about is some internet connection. I could literally just take these 3 devices at the top and connect it straight to my computer, I don't need to use this entire box. So this box is just going to be, rather than having like a backpack carrying everything, this box is basically going to have a bunch of devices that I could use any which way I need to do what I want. And then that white router that I was showing you guys earlier,
Yes.
I'm going to throw that in this box too to carry it. So this is a carrying case.
Wow,
But
amazing. And so, Victor, can we have you like now back to your face cam?
Yeah.
Okay, so we can talk more about. Okay, there you go. So, Victor, again, what's the purpose, as you said, for all the craziness?
and here's the thing. What I'm trying to do is create.
Yes, Victor.
What I'm trying to do is create a single case with multiple purposes.
Okay.
So and I just wanted to carry all the gear. So if all I'm going to do is a basic stream and all I need is cellular Wi-Fi because I'm going to be outside, I could just take the 2 hotspots connected straight to my computer. I could take the router with the 2 hotspots connected straight to my computer. And that's it.
Okay, so
But
basically what you're saying is that the case don't be like alarmed by the big case, because for now that's just a carrying case. But
That's a carrying
when you
case,
actually use it, you don't need that big case.
You don't
Right.
need everything that's going to be in that case. That's more of a carrying case. But for example, let's go back to the trip to the Philippines in Boracay. Not that I'm going to
Okay.
use my own hotspots because, if I try to use U.S. internet in the Philippines, it probably won't
Oh,
even
yes.
work anyways. But for example, that could be like our internet in a box. Because using that router with those with hotspots to give you the connectivity, that's going to provide you your network, and all of us could just connect to that network and stream. So it's a multi-purpose box where I'm even going to have it carry my cameras. I'll probably have it carry my laptop and everything, just to have you walk into an event with one box and try to have everything you need, including batteries, internet, cameras, everything. So I'm trying to come up with an all-purpose box that would just
And then
have everything
probably,
might
I
need.
know, Victor, it makes me think of something like, you know how it is when you have like a first aid kit?
Yeah.
Okay, this is something like a live streamer kit.
A live streamer first aid kit thing, yeah.
Yeah, something like that, right? So, you ran out of internet? Here's another, and another one.
Yeah.
So I think something like that. And no, kidding aside, I think, Victor, you are working on something that could really be, big. And I'm sure, especially now that the world has been opening up, there are many opportunities for us to actually live stream events. So like what I did several weeks ago, I didn't even know how to do in real life. Janet over there also in the chat was one of those who tried to help me on top of Victor. And of course, Matt has also helped me, and Roy. So you guys are awesome, because I really didn't know how to do it, right? So with what Victor is trying to do is to come up with a setup that hopefully can be, we can actually copy, right? Or, do something similar. Yes.
Similar, yeah.
Yes.
And I'm doing the same thing. I'm looking at what's available out there, but I'm trying to simplify it and make it more budget friendly. So like having a case with internet for like an event, there's a company called Pop-Up Wi-Fi, but it's like to rent the box for one day is like $1,000.
Oh my
US.
goodness.
So if I could come up with something similar that would, let's say it costs you $1,000 to build, it's yours forever. It's not $1,000 a day rental. So I'm kind of taking the idea of like the pop-up Wi-Fi, but at the same time, let's say you hire a company to come and do an event for you. They come with all these multiple cases with their soundboard, their monitors, their computers, all this stuff. I'm trying to take that and scale it down. So I do have like a monitor
Mm-mm.
that I'm probably going to mount in there. That way you can have like a second monitor to your MacBook Pro with a single cable. You connect it and boom, you have a second monitor. So it's going to be, like you said, a first aid kit, but with like streaming in mind, just to have one case have multiple devices. And now that I'm
Yes,
getting
you
like the
may or
Rodecaster
may
Pro
not
Duo, I'm
use
going to
it.
stick it in the case.
Yeah, this you may or may not use it, but at least you
But
know
you
that
have it.
it's there. Yeah, so because sometimes we don't know what we actually really need, right, for an event, right? So it's like
Exactly.
a first aid kit for I know you can think of something, right? So
Swiss, you
there.
know how you got the, you know how, what is the Swiss Army knife? It's got
Yeah,
everything
yes.
to
So
can open it. It's a Swiss Army knife,
all
hopefully
right. So
of
probably you can come up
streaming.
with let's think of a great name for this thing that Victor is actually doing, right? Yes, Janet, amazing. They might take oh yes, actually this is one thing that I think might be a problem in the future. If you put it in a case like that, people might think what's in there? Okay,
Oh
that
yeah, yeah,
yes.
and that's a good point that you made,
Mm-mm.
because like originally the battery that I had purchased, I found out I can't take on an airplane. So you have to
Mm-mm.
be careful, because my whole purpose is to take this as a mobile thing. So if I
Yeah.
travel, unless I'm going to drive to Boston, I can't take the big battery. I
Yeah.
got to take
But
the
remember,
smaller
Victor,
battery.
like
So
when we travel, I always travel, right? So I always actually really need to bring all the electronic stuff with me. I can't check them in, right? So I really need to, it really has to be in a carry on case, right? Because I have to, put out everything anyway after the, through the x ray. So having
right.
something like that, that everything is there, at least I just open one time,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. You
Yes.
open it
I don't get
once,
one from
and
here,
because
another one from
yeah,
here, right?
and because I'm using these things to like hold them in place,
Mm-hmm.
you could actually take like the whole panel and move it, and they could see everything that's there. So it's an
Yeah.
easy way. You open a single case, you
Mhm.
move a few panels, they could see everything that you
Everything.
have in the case.
Yeah.
And it's not that it looks big, but it's not that big. So that is actually a carry-on. I could take that in the airplane with me and stick it,
Yeah.
above
Overhead.
in the overhead. So
Yeah. That's great. All right. So, yes, thank you so much, Amateo, for dropping by. Yes, I really, truly appreciate and excited much to actually be with you here in the stream in the very near future when your schedule eases up a bit. Thank you so much. Love the simplifying on a budget. Indeed, Janet. Thank you so much, Master Red. All right. Oh, another, that's a Mevo.
well, this is the camera I was going to use to show the case, but it normally has a 3 to 4 hour battery. But we started setting up what like I started setting up at what
6:30?
like 6:30
7.
in the morning my time. It was like 6:30 in the morning my time,
Uh-huh.
and it's 8:37 now. So the battery died because I didn't have it plugged in anymore. But this is
Yeah.
what I wanted to kind of also show. This is a Mevo camera. This is I always
Mm-mm.
use it on NDI, which is network. But if you notice, there's no cables on this thing.
Yes.
This was actually what I had pointing at the case, but the battery died. I
Uh,
have three of these cameras,
but
and
you
these
always have
these are going to go in
something
the
as a
case.
backup.
Boom.
So it's a good thing that you can, easily connect your phone and we are able to see it. All right. Thank you so much, Victor,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
showing us even the bonus part of it. That was not planned, right? So, but when behind the scenes, a few minutes before we actually went live, I know of this project, right? Because if you're part of our OVMG group, right? So somehow Victor has showed that to us. So I said, why don't we show them that one? Because somehow it has to do with like internet and Wi-Fi as well, right? Because
Right.
again, so if you guys are coming in late or on replay, I highly suggest that you watch from the beginning till the end. And yes, I will update the description to include, I will ask first from Victor the products that he mentioned and what they're for, more or less, so that I can put it in the description. Because Victor, people want to ask, right? So let's say, what is this one? And probably the brand. And probably if you have the links as well, that would be awesome. All right. So with that again, guys, if you want to know how can we contact Victor, okay? So here is how you're gonna contact Victor: basic networks and streaming. All right, and on Facebook he is Basic Networks and Streaming, and on YouTube as well. Oops, I forgot to put the website, Victor. Sorry. Can you please tell them your website, please?
It is basic NAS
.com.
.live.
Oh,
Live is
.live.
the easier one. Live/home.
Okay. So we need to update your file with me, Victor, so
Yeah.
I can just copy paste everything
And I
right in
think
the description.
I think the com one would work. I always get confused because I don't go to my own website.
All right. So don't worry, guys.
So-
We will also put that in the description, updated description down below. Yes. Thank you, Johnny. All right. So before I forget, I will have to raffle out 5. Okay, Victor, please join me in the raffle. Hold on. Okay. So, okay. You can just drink your coffee for a while, Victor, and I will just
yeah.
put in.
And I just tested it. So yeah, it's just basicnas.com will take you to the website.
Okay, there you go. Okay, so I will just bring in. Okay, hold on. Okay, screen share for now. Okay, and Samantha, my daughter. Okay, so I need. So we'll do the wheel of names. Okay, so again, this is 5 Father's Day gift packs. Okay, curated for us by for craftness sake. All right, hold on. Oh, you can see my messy desktop. Hold on. Sorry about that one. Okay, there you go. Okay, so here is my wheel of names. So there you go. Okay. All right. So I will just change the image. Of course, this was from my last episode. Okay, so let's update it with Victor in the middle. Okay, yes. Okay. And put the names of the people in the chat who are based in the Philippines. All right. So we have Sammy. Okay, so we have Master Red. Okay. Master Red. And then we have Norman's Diary. Okay. Sammy, who else was here? Okay, let me check the chat. Okay, my laptop died on me, so I'm gonna go to my phone and check the chat for our Filipino viewers. Okay, Simply Lorenzo. Okay, hold on. Who else is here? Okay. Oh, this is stop messages. I need to see all messages. Okay, so that I can put it everybody. Okay, who has been in the okay. Sam, anyone else? Because it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, who else is in the chat? Okay. I can't see the others, Sam. It won't let me. And my phone has died. Okay.
All of us have something that's dying, right? My camera died, your
So
phone
I
had
can
died.
see the earlier chats. I'm thinking, okay. Who else was in the chat earlier on? That's from the Filipino community. Gosh, I can't. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I hope nobody gets mad if I've forgotten their name. Sammy, who else was here earlier on? Okay. All right. So, okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I'll raffle out 3 first, okay, and then I'll raffle out the other 2 later to include those that I might have missed. Okay, so because I cannot access this because all of my gadgets have died on me. Oh wait! I actually still have my my iPad. Okay, the iPad is still alive. Okay. So hold on. Let me check. Okay, we can still do this. All right, so that we can raffle out the 5 winners for tonight. Okay, Mommy Guide. Okay, okay, there you go. Okay, let me check. Okay, do you remember any in the chat, Victor?
Not off.
You know a little bit more. I mean the my. Okay. Go, 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 go. Okay, Johnny. Okay, sorry about my international friends who came in because I really cannot include you because it will not get to you in time. Okay, I think I actually did it, everything. Okay, so Miss Cat, because we will not include Miss Cat because she's the one who curated this actually. Okay. All right. Okay, I think I got it. Okay, there you go. So this is it, pansit. Okay, so okay. Okay, shuffle, shuffle. We'll do it fast. Okay. Shuffle. There you go. First one. You can win several times. No worries. Okay. Why is it that the screen is like that? Hold on. Okay. Okay, Sammy gets one. Okay, we remove you. Okay, shuffle, 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 shuffle. Okay, we spin again. Congratulations, Sammy. Okay, and the next one would be, okay, Norman's Diary. All right, congratulations, Sir Norman. All right, okay, that's two. Shuffle. Oh, I forgot Zell. Hold on. Zell was here. I remember. Zell. Okay, sorry, Miss Zell. Okay, so shuffle, shuffle. Okay, there you go. So we have Master Red. I sorry. We have Norman and Sammy. And we have Miss Zell. Okay, Zell. Third. Okay. Remove and then okay, the fourth one. Fourth one is, so we have Sammy, Sammy, Norman, Zell, and Simply Lorenzo. All right, there you go. Remove Simply. And last but not the least, winner of our Father's Day gift set is, okay, does anybody win a second time? All right, our father. Okay, one of the fathers in the community, Master Red. There you go. 5 winners. Congratulations to you all. Okay, again, you guys have won this one. Okay, a Father's Day gift set. You need to message for craftness sake. All right, so for craftness sake, okay, she's on Instagram. You need to tell her what name you want to be placed on the gift set, okay? And coordinate the shipping for the said price. All right. Because she's the one who curated, so she's not included. Yes. All right, so I think I got it, Sammy. Okay, my daughter is still checking because I might have missed somebody. If ever I missed your name, don't worry. I'll just include you in the next raffle. And sorry if I did. All right, so a lot of our gadgets have died, right, Victor? We have an
Yeah.
extended live stream. Normally, Victor and I just do a 1 hour thing, but we did a bonus thing. And then, this is such an exciting topic. That's why we went over time. So again, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Again, if you have more questions for Victor, head on for the last time over to, okay, his channel is Basic Networks and Streaming. If you have not been following him yet, I highly suggest that you do so. All right, so that's his YouTube channel. Like, follow, subscribe. Okay, and his Facebook is the same, Basic Networks and Streaming. And of course, okay, for any other questions, just head on to his website, basicnas.live.
.com. It works.
Oh, .com works. Okay, that's easier. Okay, basicnas.com. All right. So with that, thank you so much, everybody in the chat. For those who are actually, hold on, fathers, okay, happy Father's Day to you all. And for the fathers in your life, happy Father's Day. All right, with that, Victor and I saying see you next month for another Tech Crafty Night here at Mommy Guide Inc. Have a blessed weekend. Bye, Victor. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for joining me and Victor tonight. Have a great rest of the weekend. God bless you.